Sometimes the evil remains hidden. Welcome to another real, 100% true ghost story of mine on the cusp of Halloween. This is a very recent story. We moved into a house, and as you always move into a house, everything seemed normal. Nothing seemed bad. As the months and the days moved on, pets would randomly die. We had a dog that had a heart attack out of nowhere. Everybody who lived in the house was constantly arguing and bickering. Nobody could get along. Like in that house, there was an unseen force, a hidden force, an evil force behind everything that picked on the weakest member. It would pick on a pet, or it would pick on a child. It would single someone out, and it would literally drive that person crazy. Because sometimes evil is so diabolical, it doesn't want to be found. It doesn't want to show its face. It's cowardly, but at the same time, it wants to attack. That is what I believe was happening in the house. When I was on my own, when there were no other people in the house, and it had no other options, it would pick on me. One time, just, I believe, 2 days before Halloween, an electric spin brush turned on its own in the kitchen, just to get my attention. Shortly after that, that spin brush flew off the counter. It still gives me chills today. It flew off the counter across the kitchen, like someone was throwing it. And there was no explanation behind it. The only explanation I could think of was I was in the house, completely on my own, and this cowardly, evil force, I wouldn't even call it a spirit, had nothing else to do but scare me. Another time, I was exercising in the gym, and I could feel something behind me. I could feel a presence right there behind me, standing behind me, almost yelling at me. It still gives me chills. And I had to stop what I was doing and leave the room. Something was going on. It was too cowardly to show its head. But one time, it showed me something. I was sitting once again on my own, eating lunch, and the shape of a child ran down the stairs. A white cloud, the shape of a child, ran down the stairs right in front of me. I stopped what I was doing, and I was completely confused. As far as I know, no children ever died in this house. There was no reason for this thing to be there. I still think this day, it was just teasing me. It was just showing me things out of the corner of my eye, just to scare me. It knew I was on my own. It knew I couldn't do anything to stop it. And it seemed to have this track record, like I say. It picked on the weakest person it could find in the family. And when all those people have been eliminated because they're not in the house, it doesn't have many options to pick on. So it has to pick on the strongest person. It had to pick on me. Other than the time in the gym, it didn't really scare me, but I didn't really think about it too much. I just kept trying to explain it away and say, okay, it's this, it's that. But certainly, when the spin brush flew across the kitchen, there was no explanation behind that. Objects don't take off and fly around rooms on their own. That simply doesn't happen. So my own theory to this is that sometimes there is something so evil, so diabolical, that it keeps itself hidden. Because if it reveals itself, if it has enough courage to reveal itself, then you can do something about it. It never had enough courage to reveal itself. It was always there in the background, chewing on people, scaring people, annoying people, playing with their emotions. It was always there, this malevolent, persistent threat, this evil. And the interesting thing is, as soon as we left that house, it all ended. I have never had another experience since I left that house. I've never seen anything. I've never had objects fly across the kitchen at me. It's definitely not following me. It's definitely not me. And I'm a scientist. I try to explain the logical behind these things. But certainly, I cannot explain anything logical that happened in that house. It was a haunting, but it was a haunting of the most evil nature. Because always remember this through life. Evil doesn't always show itself. It's not like in the movies. It doesn't have crucifix jumping off the wall and, heavy footsteps. Often evil keeps a low profile because it wants to attack you without getting attacked back. Evil is cowardly. So always be careful. And next time you hear those footsteps in the night, think about what might be happening. Sweet dreams. Check under the bed.